How are you doing, girl? Honestly.
Honestly, so much is going on, and yeah, the beginning was pretty rocky when I came over here, and I just were hit with this whole body shut down, and I thought, what? And now starting to loosen up, and what I realized more and more is I just have to let go of everything I thought I needed to plan, skip it, be in the moment, and see what happens. And as more I surrender to that, as more freedom I feel in my body. So
Yeah. You're guided
yeah.
anyway, so I don't think you can make plans.
No, sometimes, with this whole having an organization and these things, they all ask, so what is your plan? And I'm like, 5 years? What? I don't even know the next 5 days,
Oh.
So then I try to make a program, but it never works. Like it lasts 3 weeks and then so.
What was your goal to go there? Like, you have a goal or you just travel?
So in my dreams, Hungary had just called me for a longer period. So I knew that I had to go here when the borders opened, and I did have plans. We wanted to go to Serbia. We wanted to go to Bosnia and go to these energetic pyramid places. But everybody started to shut down. Then they have this big demonstration in Serbia and Bosnia, don't let people in. So I was like, okay, I'm just here now, Budapest. What's up,
What's the plan?
So the feeling is that, as I said, I really have to surrender to just be.
Yeah.
And this weekend, go to the border of Hungary. There is some energetic places that has been calling, and I'm just gonna do the groundwork that I have to do here. And the country tells me, well, you're also here to just feel safe in your own energy. So we are kind of working together in this moment. Just being and the stones wants me to tell their story. This is kind of the thing all over the planet, but especially here in Hungary at the moment. So we visit these stones, and I just ask them what they wish to share, and
Which
become the
stones
voice.
you mean?
Excuse me?
Which stones you mean? Or from the pyramid?
The rocks. So it's not even only the pyramids, but we have a lot of energetic places all over the world. And in stones, as it is in all nature, but stones especially because they're so old and so stable.
Yeah.
A lot of consciousness and a lot of memory. That means that they know parts of the history which may not be written in the books and stuff like this. And also they have history of when planet systems were more integrated here on Earth. So that's part of the story there is to tell. Another thing is that no matter which stone I have been meeting the last period, they all are talking about these underground tunnels and underground worlds, which I find super interesting, because this is not something that, well, this is not something we've been talking about so much
No.
in the open.
No.
So I'm curious, want to bring to the surface.
Wow. So you just can ask them and they tell you, or the consciousness of the rocks tell you.
Yes, actually it's them asking me. It's very funny. They're like, come over here. I'm like, okay, I will walk through all the... Put my hands on the stones, and it is as if I just become one with them. So I just become the voice of the memory. I see their memory as clear as if it was my own.
Wow.
Yes. And then there's some stones they don't want to talk, and then you feel this deep resistance they send out, and you're like, whoa, 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 okay. I'm fine.
Wow.
Over there, Stitch, no, we stay here, So
I was interested why you have this tattoo. What does it mean for you?
I love that you ask. I don't know if I have to put it closer.
Yeah.
So a lot of people meet me in the trance or something, and they look at me, then they go like, are you Illuminati? It's like,
They took over the symbol.
what?
They took over the symbol.
Exactly. So this is what I explain to them. I say, Illuminati just took over something that was so pure and so profound.
Yeah.
And this, in some religions, it's the eye of God, and some religions, it's the all-seeing eye. For me, what the symbolize for me is the through the oneness of everything that once was created, like the whole pyramid system, the grid, we see things clearly. So the symbol in the eye means to see people's soul clearly, to see everything in 100% unity. And that's why I don't know if you can see it, the infinity signs, because nothing ever dies.
Yeah, that's like this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just one form and we shift into another. So everything is internal, infinity. And for me, that was the, how do you say it? The geometry in the two stars. There's actually two stars, but I only tattooed the one, but it is have this perfect geometry to it. And it just, for me, means the perfection of the universe. Yeah. So I my heart, because this symbol has so much fear. And what we do is we, like right now, people are super angry at Disney because Disney shows a lot of talk about child abuse or whatever. But the truth is, they show both sides, right? Yeah. And we're the one. Which sides do we want to look at? So if Illuminati takes something so beautiful, profound, turn it into something that we fear, I just thought to myself, well, if I put it back in my heart, maybe I can just shift it around and turn it back to something very beautiful, pure, and profound. That's it.
Well, did you realize that when you put it here, that there was already a darkness on the symbol?
I knew that Illuminati used the symbol. Well, only the triangle, as far as I know.
Yeah, only the triangle on the eye, yeah.
But for me, since the day I was born, that's a lie. Since I learned to draw, I draw eyes in everything. The eye has always been such a deep part of my soul. So for me, it has never meant anything negative.
No.
When I Illuminati, whatever it is, I feel the energy is so disconnected from the heart. So it is like a vibration that goes like this, and then very straight and powerful, right?
Yeah.
But this symbol means openness. It means openness and clairvoyance. And I believe that you can see every person's soul when you look them in the eye. So why should we fear eyes? And I just don't want to be controlled. So,
it's a
but I have a
way of explaining.
Thank you.
Yeah, to see it differently, because the whole media, and I think alternative media, is now on the all-seeing eye, what it means in negative way. So it's good now to tell the people what is actually the original meaning of it.
And another thing I really have been looking into the last few days, because now we're getting more and more aware of the children abuse, we're getting more and more aware of dark forces, these kind of things. So all of a sudden it gets a bit hype, right? So there's a lot of it on the negative, and all of a sudden we see signs everywhere.
Yeah.
This is true, but we are still the one choosing how do we want to perceive these signs.
Yeah.
They have always been there. The good signs, the bad signs, the actions, but what we need to do is be aware, but not feed it.
Yeah.
And how right now is that we need to be aware, and in that process, of course, there will be fear, anger, resentment, these kind of things. But we need to, at a certain point, not feed it. So see the good in it.
Feed it? You mean feed it with attention, or feed it with, what do you mean?
Yes, so have you seen this picture where there stands a man here and a man there, and then there's a 6 in the middle, and one says it's a 6, and the other say it's a 9.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I can vision it in my mind.
So when we see the movie Matrix, for example,
Yeah.
some people, this is the good forces, they're giving us a message. Other people will say this is the dark forces showing us how deep we are in the mud, right? So it is up to us to see both sides, but not focus on the bad one, focus on the good part.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean now?
Yeah, of course. But now you see these days that the whole alternative media, and actually not all, actually many sides of the media come up with negativity. It's actually all the time negative.
Yes.
So only in
Yes.
the spirituality it has good things to show. But all the other media is actually a lot of times negative. So now that people are waking up, and for them they first dive into the negative. So
Yes,
it's a stage of people on waking up. First you wake up to the dark stuff, and then if you dive deeper, you dive into like the whole universal stuff. What is beyond our belief of what we were living in, and then you are opening up to the good stuff. Mostly that is part of the awakening.
Yes, and the important part is just to get people from this stage to over here.
Yeah.
And what moment is that a lot of people is here, and those who used to be here even are moving, not all of them, but some of them are even moving a bit this direction now.
Yeah.
So I believe that it's so important to share this message of trust, faith, and remind people that everything is energy, that we are the creators. The good is here, this is the truth. The bad is here, this is the truth, because Earth is duality.
Yeah.
But we are the creators because we are the one with the free will. What we focused on with our heart, with our feelings, create.
Yeah. I would also like to know, how do you feel about prophecies? Because my whole life I'm really also interesting in prophecies. How do they work? You know, all the religions have prophecies, and all the seers have prophecies, like Nostradamus or Baba Vanga. All these prophecies they have been told have happened, and now you are like, they have died, but now we're on the timeline that still prophecies have to come.
Yeah.
And how is it working if all the prophecies who they have told have happened? Some prophecies are still coming, can happen. There's a timeline that they can happen, but how does a prophecy work? Because if we all focus on the good, of course a prophecy can change.
Yes. So in the old days, the consciousness level on Earth was not that high. Therefore, making a prophecy was quite easy, right? Because the outcome doesn't shift that much from what is already created. Nowadays, our consciousness level is rising. The influences from the outsides are bigger because we now can take more amount of it in, which means that these prophecies that are used to be written in stones is no longer written in stones. It is possible outcomes. What we do before we incarnate is that we choose a certain amount of happenings. That means that this corona thing, for example, was needed. It was a shift. Nobody knew exactly what name it would have, but we knew that this shift would come and it would bring friction and change, right? So we have these moments in life which is a part of the game. These will not change, but the way that they unfold will change. So some people would have called this the end of the world or World War III, because it's kind of have the same restrictions, right? Locking down countries. And look at us now. Like, if this is World War III, I would, hand on the heart, say that we're doing great. We're not bombing each other. We can walk on the street only wearing a mask, you know. So if we look at it from that perception, it's not that bad.
No, but if I listen to the prophecies of really good prophecy people who didn't really live that long ago, and I also, as you know, dive into the secret space programs. So it's like I love spirituality, I love secret societies, and I love ancient civilizations and prophecies, and all three come together in a way that they say, okay, the next couple of 4 years are really going to be tough on this world, in sort of like a war kind of state of the duality of the evil and the good battling on where we have to go in a couple of years, and that is actually the struggle of those two forces battling out, which is going to be tough, but eventually the light will win is a word, but you have cycles of time of good and bad to evolve. And how do you see that?
I agree that the next, well, they say 4 years, but I will start with saying like this. I agree that the next 4 years is going to be very challenging. There will be
good
big
challenging.
Yes. There will be big representatives of the light. There will be big representatives of the dark. And like I started this conversation saying it, we are the one in the middle. We're the one who have to choose. We are the one who needs to speak. In order of having war, there has to be two people wanting to fight each other, right? On some kind of level. So we need to learn to look beyond, what do you call it, the curtains. But the truth is that we are in different states of awareness on the planet Earth. And a lot of people are not even meant to wake up in this lifetime. No. This amount of people will, of course, feed what is given to them, which means that we have a big amount of people who will be fed by fear and anger and this war thing. So we will not be free of war in this time period, but what we will do is we will plant the seed for change. Yeah. It will be challenging because that things are becoming more clear in a way. And when the light is rising, as we know, even in our own awakening, as more light you get, as more dirt comes to the surface, and it's kind of the same way it works with the light and dark forces. And as I am looking into it, there will come this, they talk about the second wave. I don't see the second wave as a corona wave, but I see it as people's reactions. And I believe that we're pretty lucky with where we are located. You and me.
Yeah.
Because it's not here the worst out place is gonna be centered for the anger and this kind of thing. So we are in this in-between state before the second wave, but not the second wave of corona. So yes, the next 4 years is gonna be challenging, and the work that I am here to do, they said, well, you have to do it until 2038, and then your main mission is over. Like, I'm not gonna die. Luckily, I'm gonna get super old for once. Thank you.
You have certain abilities other people don't. So can you tell me why, what you feel, what you see, how you perceive the world, and how that is possible that you have such abilities?
I was born with the ability to be one with everything. I wasn't aware of it in the start of my life, so the start of my life was kind of chaotic. I was everything. Somebody cried, I was that. If I saw Lion King, then I was sure my dad just died, you know. So not easy. People give have their abilities for different reasons, and I believe when you have them in the degree I have them, then it's because you were born to do something with it, something that you cannot not do. We have a lot of people who get their abilities at a certain state in life. So for example, if they have near-death experiences, or they have these walk-ins in the near-death experience, so a part of them kind of dies, and another part takes over. Yeah. For me, I was born dead, so this, of course, we could call this near-death experience, and I have almost been dead 3 times in this life already, like a cat. So
we have 4 more times to go.
I'm really holding on to them because I feel like I'm only 30 and there's like at least 63 years left. So, got it.
Yeah, 63. You're gonna be almost 100.
93 is like the
goal they give you.
That was what they told me. They say, well, at that point you don't want to be here anymore, so that's it. I was like, okay. And at that point, because I die so young in my earlier life, this is another ability I have. I live all my life at once. So I am not just Elisa, I am everything I have ever been at once. Whatever traumas I have in this life means no more than the traumas I have in past life. It's all like one big line for me. Therefore, in most I died so young. And I only remember one life where on Earth, where I was above 25. So at my 25th years of a birthday, I was sure I was gonna die. So the spirits was like, no, you're gonna get old, you're gonna get wrinkled, we give you 93. And I'm like, 93? That's like a hell lot of time, you know? Okay, I'll take that one.
Wow. So you were born dead, you say. What is being born dead? Like you really were as a body dead and didn't come back, and on a later stage as a new baby, or was it like you were dead for a few minutes?
I was clinical dead in her belly, so they need to did this cut open thing, put me out, put me in this heart monitor, and they were sure that I was going to be brain damage because my heart didn't beat for so long. I don't remember how long that was. I have to ask my mom.
Wow. And you all remember that?
Yes. And the first thing I saw when I opened my eyes was not my mom. It was this nurse standing and doing this heart pumping thing, you know? So I was like, what? This world, like, I don't like this.
Oh my God, that you can remember that. That is, for me, of course, I cannot understand that you really can consciously still remember that. But yeah.
I think it's kind of cheating because I can dive into wherever in a history line, right? So the first time I had to look back at my own life to understand what's going on. I looked at my birth, I looked at my 3, my 6, my 9, and my 12 years. Just so what I did was I just became a fly in the wall, and I was just looking and like, oh, there she goes. Oh, wow, that doesn't look nice, you know? So kind of watching it like a movie. And then second state, going inside and actually feel how it is when you open those eyes. So it's just shifting consciousness in what have happened, basically.
Wow. That is incredible. But do you have this ability in other lives as well?
Yeah, it's like I told you, I live all my lives at once. So I haven't had one incarnation where I didn't have whatever I am. Yeah. So I guess that's why I haven't been allowed to be on Earth so often, because my energy didn't fit for quite I've never been a part of this Second World War. I have no memories from, this whole gap in between. So it's quite an interesting time to be incarnated, and also a timeline that I don't really match.
No, I understand.
Yes.
But can you consciously remember that you choose to be here as well?
Yes.
And
Yes,
why?
I remember.
Why also?
So I will try and explain it how I see it. There's this big meeting where the energy forms are kind of agreeing who's gonna incarnate, check which roles are needed for the game in order of making outcomes or influencing outcomes that we wish to influence, right?
Yes.
And I remember me standing, you don't really stand as an energy, but I'm gonna painting a human picture. So I was standing and these old guys was like discussing who was gonna do what, and they were agreeing that I was allowed to go to Earth again. And sort of kind of told me what I had to do and which baggage I had to carry, but only for a while in order of helping others letting go of that baggage. And then they choose the souls who are to support me, but I am not a person, I'm an energy form. So they choose one energy form, and then they choose the energy forms to support it, so we all as a unit can do the job, right? And the beautiful part of this is I can remember some of these souls. And one of the beautiful ones that I know was like literally like, pick me, I want to do it. And when you see it in this life, he has the same energy. So when he's around his soul purpose, he goes like, oh, I got it. It's so cute.
Oh, so you remember seeing people from them before you came here and now on this earth as well?
And what is with me is I'm a floating energy. Where I come from is not, how can I say it? I've been around a lot of energy and planet systems, but not incarnated in the form, but floating around. So I see and I recognize all these beautiful beings who are on Earth right now. And they see and recognize me, but but I have not been incarnated with them, but I know them because I've been around like energy forms surrounding them. So for me, that had been pretty confusing in the start because I was like, oh, I belong here. No, wait, I doesn't belong here. Wait, I belong here. I don't belong there, but I love everyone. You know?
Oh, wow, that must be hard. What is the hardest part for you to live on this planet, and what is for you the most interesting part to live here?
The funny thing is that is exactly the same thing.
Of course. In energy terms, yes. But in human terms, you always have a good and a bad.
So I find it really difficult the way that we're treating each other, the way that we're treating the planet, the way that we are so extremely pushed to being disconnected instead of connected.
Yeah.
But I find the most interesting and the most beautiful is all these different shape and forms that people have and all these crazy things they do that I can see why they do it, but I don't understand it. Like, you know, I understand it, but it makes no sense from where I come from.
Oh, yes.
To see all these different creations doing whatever, I find it so different from what I know. But of course, what my heart truly desire is that we can recreate this unity, that we can make this awareness of that everything is one, that we are healed if we will just seek within and reconnect to nature and go back to our roots and let go of all this hating each other for no reason, judging each other, like why, you know? So,
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
No.
That they put that in the DNA of humans, that they can judge other people. It's like in our nature, you know. It's in the caused by the media. It's caused probably in our DNA that it's just a human thing. It probably will go away if we evolve a few dimensions, but on this level, it is here.
And it's more so. I really love this way of explaining it. I grow up as a fighter, which is very funny when I'm all about peace, right? I grow up in a
right? You kickbox?
what?
You do kickboxing?
Just, well, all fighting, but I was a champion in boxing.
Oh, boxing, sorry, boxing.
So I, what you see, and what I felt myself even is that you have this. You need to prove something. So as long as you are insecure in yourself, what you do is you show the world how strong you are. Nobody gets you down. You're walking with your arms out here. The second you become a great fighter, the second that you truly feel you are mastering the fight, know that you will win.
Yeah.
You have no need for prove anything.
Yeah.
And you become quiet inside. There's no need to show that you're the man or the woman. And when people start talking dirt to you or whatever, it doesn't matter, because deep inside, you know, well, if shit hit the fans, you would whoop their ass, so why even bother?
That's the power of belief.
Yes. So this is the thing in general. As more as you are getting into yourself, your own being, you have no need to judge others. You have no need to prove one thing above another, because you are okay within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we are going there in the next couple of years. I know a lot of people.
Right. Yes.
What?
We are working in that direction.
Yes, yes. And I love it because the last couple of years I was also thinking, oh my God, where does this world go to? Because I was sort of like hopeless. Okay, something has to change. And then I heard about that they were telling about there's an event coming and this will shift their consciousness of the whole planet. And I was thinking, yes, finally, something is going to happen. Because you cannot do it by yourself, of course, in yourself. But if you see other people's not doing it, it's still, you think, oh, I wish other people would see it this way. And now this will evolve. Yeah, a lot of things. And then people will see it. And then next week, I'm gonna organize an event as well. It's called the Great Awakening Tribe. And it's also every month I put an event together also to explain people why this is now happening, why this transformation is happening, and also to realize for the people what the power they have in themselves to change their reality, to change your consciousness, to understand that it's all limiting beliefs that you cannot do it, but you can. So, and you see the event is really popular, that people want to come. So you see people want to know.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I really love that. And there's a lot of, there's more and more people waking up and want to change. And what is so important is integration of authenticity. Because when we get more and more, is this too early? Can I say this? Wait.
No, you can.
Okay, I can. Okay, great. I was like, hey. We have a lot of people who wish to be awakened, right? And what we do is we step straight into the consciousness awareness on a mental level.
Yeah.
And what we do is we need to bring our authentic self. So the whole spiritual part, we need to look into which emotions do I have. We need to love ourselves from all the aspects and realize that whatever we think is dark within us, it's not dark. It's just a part of creation until we address it, and then it's no longer needed. So the role of authenticity in this time coming is so important. The time of gurus sitting like, I am in perfect harmony, always happy. Doesn't work. Because this is creating the silent war that we are seeing surrounding us at this moment. Because they are not sending out all the anger they are feeling, but they are feeling it on the plane. And that is what the world is symbolizing at this moment. So what we want to do is we want to address it. We want to integrate it as a part of ourselves until it's no longer needed. Yeah. And trust me, it will be no longer needed when you just face it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just feel really important to share that message with the world.
That's a good word. Integrity and authenticity.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Beautiful. And why did you ask them if it was the right timing to say this now?
Because what I do is I'm always looking into where people are at. We have a lot of people who are saying this is gonna happen, that is gonna happen, do. But if I tell you the part here and you are here, you want to jump over and stand here, and that process becomes longer. So in order of getting everybody to where they have to go, we need to put the awareness to the here and now, and support the here and now. That's also one of the reasons why I never really prepare anything, because when people come, I want to make sure that I am not telling them what to do, but just navigating them in what they feel they need to do themselves. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, good. And who are your guides? Can you explain something about that? It's like, where is they always with you, or can you call upon?
For me, can I I don't know if I have guides in that form. I have Archangel Metatron, promised from the day that I was born to be by my side until I learn to be more stable in my own being, which obviously is not yet, so he's still here. But for the rest, it's really just the universal masters and angelic beings, or whoever that wants to, that has something to share, that shows up in that moment. So this time when I asked this, I think you can call it like the white counseling, these old white guys. That's kind of how I would perceive it if I should look at it with a human mind. The ones who chose if I should come down here, or together we meet you.
Yeah.
Kind of we can call it source. So I go like, source, is this now or not? And he will be like looking down, like, you know.
See them also, yeah.
Huh?
You see them and you hear them and you feel them. What kind of senses you use?
I am.
Yeah.
Best way of saying it. So what happens is the second that I ask them, I go there. So if I ask Source, so Source, can I tell this now? What I do is I just go home, and I am Source, and Source give it answer, and I put it into words.
Yeah.
So I don't see, I don't hear, I don't feel, I am. I go there, and then I just translate it to human language as good as I can.
Wow.
That was quite confusing at some point in life, trust me. It was like, I was at this thing, and they were like, what do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? And I was just sitting there feeling like air, nothing. But then in the moment they asked me something, I would just go like, blah, 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 blah. And even myself was in shock. I was like, okay, I don't know, you know. Wow. So it took me to know how to explain it.
Yeah, but we have such a different way of communicating and thinking and visualizing than you. So it's like there's a few bridges between it for us to understand you completely and you to translate it for us completely. So it's like there's something in between for miscommunication.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's like a different language.
Very, very much. And sometimes, like now in my, I think you call it private life. Not that there really is a difference for me, but in my everyday life, walking the streets, people perceive what they perceive, right? And I am trying to communicate out in a form where I meet them and like, hey, how you doing? But I feel like all this behind, which they cannot see. So this whole interaction thing is so weird for me. So yeah, journey on Earth.
Oh man, and you will become 93.
Yes. Oh my God.
I don't know if I wanted to change with you. I don't know. I don't
If
know.
what?
I think I would love to, but then I wanted also to switch it on and off. I think that would be nice, not to have it all the time. But
Yeah.
can you?
No.
No, I thought so.
But the thing is, like I usually say, a fish only know it is in water when you take it out of water. Right?
Yeah.
For me, I've never been different. I don't know. I don't know how not to be what I am. So it doesn't matter. It of course is a struggle in many ways, and it's not really easy always. But I don't know any. I never did. So it's okay. It's just how it is.
And have you met any friends or other people in your life that you really have the same level of experience on Earth?
Not the same. I meet
But
a lot of beautiful.
you can communicate on that level?
Yes, I meet a lot of beautiful beings from Syria, Sirius, I think
Yeah.
they call it, or these planet systems like aliens, and even this is what I really love: the autistic people are telepathically resonating with the way that I perceive the world reality, so I can talk with them, which is really funny. So I meet a lot of beautiful beings that I have similarities with, but exactly the same I haven't met. And as far as I know, I'm not gonna meet it.
No.
Yeah, incarnated one, but I will be a bit older, and this person will obviously not be so old. Yeah, in the time that I will be here. So.
And do you think
I had, you know, just gonna find my way.
yeah, your choice to be here, so you have a swing.
Yeah, I have a swing. Life is great.
Just swing in this world. Oh, you know what I had that the last time it's just a personal thing that I wanted to ask you is that when I sometimes meditate and I connect something to a vision, sometimes something happens in me that I cried suddenly so intensely by seeing, I saw the vision. It was like seeing my, I think, family or star family from another. And then suddenly I cried so intensely. I've never cried so intensely in my life that I was almost stuck in my heart of not breathing anymore, of the, I don't know, many different feelings at the same time. So sadness and sort of like knowing of it's good, but can you explain how that happens, that if you're in a meditation and you connect suddenly with a, for me,
what you
or a vision,
connect with home, right? So you connect with the feeling,
and that you suddenly cry so much
because you realize how shit this is. So in the deepest truth in your heart, in yourself, you know that you are part of this 100% unity, 100% light. There is no conflict. All the heaviness, all the struggles there is on earth is not represented in any form where you come from. So when you link to this bubble of unconditionally raw love, and somebody will call it nothingness, but I will call it everything, right?
Yeah.
And then you come down to this body again, and then you feel all the layers, all the struggles, all the missing, the longing for that. That's when all the emotions are triggered. But the beautiful part of it is that we are reminded of home, and we are reminded of our true roles here.
Yeah, that was feeling. Yeah, the remembrance of home. Someone holded me like, oh, like here, it's okay. I'll hold you, and I felt it was from another energy.
When did you have this?
I think 4 days ago, 3 days ago.
I had it 1.5 weeks ago.
Really?
I was out of it, and I thought, I don't know what's going on, like seriously. And I had this thing in my throat, and then I because I don't know how to ask questions, so I had a friend asking me what I had to ask. Right, very funny. And said, well, just ask your dad, not on Earth, but the real one. Just ask your dad what he has to tell you. And he told me that I was here to complete what he didn't, like finish what he didn't. And then he just hold me from the back, exactly like you were told. And I cried so hard, like so deep. There was no tomorrow cry, you know, like this whole home at the same time. And I was just like, what am I gonna do from here? I am with
Oh yeah, I know what you feel. Wow. But do you believe, because you hear that, oh, you come from this star family, that you really have this origin really over there? Because I also believe, like you come from source. It's not from a star family. So how can you explain that you are from a star family?
Some people are so if we will pretend that souls are born, then souls are getting born on different levels. So in order of being from our planet, you need to have certain colors in your DNA to be born there, basically. So most souls have gained a lot of coloring or frequencies from source and down in the dimensions, or however you're gonna explain it.
Yeah.
Most souls are identifying themselves with a certain planet because most of their lives belongs there and their soul properly has been born there. We also have souls who actually are pure humans that has only been on Earth, and I find these so interesting because it's so far.
You mean pure human, you say?
Yeah, like they only been on Earth.
Wow. Wow.
Crazy. I came across a few where and you know me, like this little excited kid, like, oh, how do you work? Like, how can nothing more happen in there? Like, you just fine with everything, really? You know?
Those are the people probably not believing in lives outside universes.
Definitely, they're like, well, it doesn't matter. I go up, I drink my coffee, I milk my cow, I go back to bed. Life is great. And they literally feel like there's like nothing in them that says something is wrong, because for them, this is life. This is their learning.
Yes.
I get so excited, like, oh, how do you do that?
Yeah. Wow. And do you, of course, you know, are there like more planets like this that you incarnate as a being and that you are oblivious of source, that you really have to reconnect to remember again?
You mean more? Yes, there is, but most other planet system, all the other planet systems that we are aware
of course,
have more consciousness than we have on Earth.
Mm.
But I see other planet systems, they're still influenced by duality. So the game of duality is not only on Earth. There's a few other planet systems where they have the same game, but they're not based on something different than what we build up on Earth. So they're more aware of the universe, but still disconnected to source.
Yeah. And do you see a big rise in connection to source in the next couple of years? Because I hear about, I hear about the great solar flash. That something is, an energy wave is coming to the Earth that will affect the consciousness. Do you see that happening?
Yes and no. So, like
I
how?
look at you because you get, oh, should I say this? What should I say? What should I do? What can I say this? You know what?
Yeah,
Earthly
I'm
thing.
once. Oh, 1 second. So people have the need to hear about all these gateways opening over and over and over again. The gate is open.
Yeah.
The conscious is here. We're the ones who need to step in it.
Yeah.
There will be conscious. There will be more waves of awakening. But it will not be global because, as we talked about earlier, there is this big mass of people who are not supposed to wake up. The only thing that we is bringing consciousness and being examples, authentic examples, for those who are awakening, those who are ready to perceive that level of consciousness, and really truly use time on manifesting ourselves in the here and the now. Because if we fly too much out, we are not the manifestors. We have to integrate it on earth in this time. So bring it from here till here, whole body, and into action.
Yeah. True. Yeah, but that's because now, the last couple of years, maybe the people on earth are becoming more aware of this whole process. So first it starts in knowledge, then it has to embody and believe and feel, and then you can pass it on.
Yes. Or it is already embodied because you have it deep in your soul, and all you have to do is reconnect to your heart and believe it.
Yeah.
Then it goes. So it will be really cool if we will navigate some of our learnings for the awakening, not so much only of the consciousness level of the mind, but the whole knowledge of the knowledge which is within.
Yeah.
The water starts flowing.
What?
It's just like the water starts flowing on my barefoot out of nowhere. It's too many beings.
Oh, really? They want to shower.
And I'm just gonna leave. Guys, seriously, you have water on your own planet, no?
Oh, funny.
Okay, we're great.
Funny, really? Oh, wow.
It's never boring. I spend a lot of time, but I'm really never alone, so.
Okay. And what is the best advice for people who are in this process, except from being authenticity, integrity, and being in the now? What is the best from going from the knowledge in the head, the consciousness in the head, dropping it down in the heart?
You have to live. So I know it sounds so, but we are here now. You're in this physical form. You're here maximum 100 years, which is nothing out of infinity. You need to take every moment of your life to just experience it. So when you get too locked up with all these things in your head and you don't know how to navigate around in it, give yourself a moment to just be. And just whatever the day brings you, because this is life. And no matter how it unfolds, you are here to live it. So when everything gets too much in your mind, shut that mind off and just do whatever feels right.
Yeah.
Then it will start flowing automatically anyways. So.
Yeah. And well, I want to also say to you that, or wanted to ask you that, when are you coming back? Is maybe in a couple of months, right? So we can plan something nice as an event.
That would be lovely. I like that.
For people who are feeling drawn to you and me, coming to an event that we will program. I would love to do that.
That could be really cool. I like that.
we will probably will be very intuitive what we're gonna do, of course. No plan.
Try to make a program, you know.
No, it doesn't work with you. No. And well, this is I think this is good. I have all the things that I wanted to talk about with you, and even more. So it's a good talk now, and maybe tell also if people are interested in coming to you. What is that you offer for people in help?
So at this moment, I do the sessions online, so people can they can call me, and what I do is I just help them in where they're at. I help them to see things more clearly. I will never tell them something that they deep within their heart don't already know.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. I made the energetic bracelets because apparently great way to reach people, and I love that it helped them so much. So for now, while all these borders are locked down, then that is it. Oh, and I might do the speaking at the Awareness Festival.
Where?
In the end of this, in Budapest. No, at Lake Balaton in Hungary. So it's really funny that you are doing this awareness thing at the same time.
Yes, but that's the big thing right now. You know, everybody is busy with awareness. What is awareness? How can you be more aware? You know, what is consciousness? You know, it's just exploded, this whole topic. Nice that you heard it. Well, thank you. Do you want to share anything else that you think is important now?
Only that I'm really happy we do this, and I really love this connection with you, and I feel a great you have to do it together feeling. So I have actually cancelled everything in Holland. I didn't want to go back to Holland. Holland was a bit like for me, but then when you ask, I had like no decision. It was like, yes, sure, whenever she wants it.
Thank you, darling. I love this.
Thank you.
I love the connection also. So work on that, we plan, and then we just gonna spread our wisdom and love to the world.
I love it.